When we talk about real expertise, in anything really, could be coding, managing people, art.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about knowing the steps.
Exactly. It's more about knowing what good actually looks like. What does quality mean in that field?
And that ability, that knack for spotting quality, that's a real cognitive skill. We're calling it the Development of Evaluative Judgment, or EJ for short. That's our focus today.
Right. And our mission here is to, really unpack what EJ means, but maybe more importantly, explain how practicing EJ tasks can fundamentally upgrade how you learn.
Upgrade how you learn anything.
Yeah, any subject. Faster, deeper. It's not just about being critical. It's about building like an internal engine for getting better at learning itself.
Okay, so let's nail down the definition first,
Yeah.
based on the source material. EJ is the capacity to make reasoned, evidence-based decisions about quality. Sounds straightforward, maybe.
It does, but there's a key difference between that and, say, just ticking boxes on a rubric someone gave you.
Okay.
Well, basic learning often starts with compliance. Following the rules, checking the list. EJ, though, requires you to go way beyond that. You have to actually internalize the real standards of excellence.
So it's the difference between following the recipe and truly understanding why the recipe works, maybe even improving it.
Exactly. It's that leap, moving from just doing what you're told to genuinely discerning quality. You're not just using someone else's criteria, you're starting to build your own, weighing different factors.
So the idea is to help you, the listener, shift from just handing in the work to being your own really tough internal editor, someone who knows what excellent looks like.
Precisely. You become capable of judging your own work effectively.
What kind of practice actually forces that shift? How does a platform help build that?
It puts you in the judge's seat. So, for example, you might get presented with two different solutions to the same problem.
Okay.
And your task is to critique both, argue which one's better, and crucially, why it's better, based on solid reasons.
Or maybe define the success criteria yourself. Like,
Right.
What makes a good project proposal in, say, your field before anyone even starts writing it?
Exactly. Those kinds of tasks force you to grapple with the standards directly.
That definitely sounds more demanding than just solving it once myself.
That.
But why is judging better for my learning? Where's the boost?
Okay, so this gets to the core of the deep learning approach. Practicing EJ is what we call a high-friction cognitive maneuver. It's intentionally challenging.
Right, friction, meaning
But
it's difficult.
it requires significant mental effort, yes. The friction mainly comes from having to justify your judgment. You can't just feel like solution A is better.
You have to articulate it.
You have to articulate why based on explicit criteria with principled reasons. Back it up.
Okay, so the heavy lifting is in the justification. That's the key.
That's a huge part of it. That rigorous justification forces metacognition.
Thinking about your thinking.
Yes. You have to examine your own reasoning process. When you're forced to explain why you made a judgment, you often uncover your own biases or inconsistencies.
I can see that.
And that process helps you refine and stabilize your internal standards. It makes your judgment more reliable, more consistent, no matter what you're evaluating.
So it doesn't matter if I'm learning physics or project management. Practicing this judgment skill builds a core capability.
Absolutely. That ability to self-assess accurately and justify your reasoning, that's a fundamental meta skill for learning anything faster and better.
Right, you're essentially tuning your internal quality meter. And the source material suggests this has big long-term benefits too.
Definitely. This ability to make solid judgments about your own work and others is flagged as critical for things like leadership and autonomy.
Makes sense. Leaders need good judgment.
And autonomy, too. By building this internal capacity, you basically become a faster, more accurate self-corrector. Whatever new thing you try to learn down the line, you're already equipped to gauge your progress and adjust course more effectively. It speeds up the whole path to mastery.
So wrapping this up for everyone listening, developing this evaluative judgment, this EJ skill, it's not just about getting better grades or scores. It's a fundamental upgrade to your internal benchmark for what good means.
It really is. It's about competence.
And here's something to think about. If real expertise means you have to internalize those standards of excellence, not just follow external rules, imagine how much faster you could master something new and challenging if your internal sense of good enough was already calibrated way up high at that mastery level.
That's the potential power here. And if you want to dig deeper into the actual science, the research on things like criterion discrimination and justification protocols, you can find more on the science webpage.
Check out the links below for that deeper dive.